Hello, this is Catherine Dubberly, the Answer Lady. I'm a big fan of Kiss Looms. I greatly enjoy mine, and I am cooperating with Kelly at Kiss Looms to make you a playlist of all the basic techniques that you might ever want to know on all of the looms. So welcome and enjoy. This is my Magic Dolman, and this is the sleeve ribbing. It goes into a funny little angle, and we're going to do the other side together to show you one nice way to do it. This is the other sleeve. It's not very easy to hang this on the loom in order to do the ribbing. If you want to, of course, you can just not hang it on the loom to do the ribbing and leave it with unfinished live stitches on one end and stitch through those stitches to attach it to the armhole. However, here's an alternate method. I've made a little bit of a loop here to use. I'm going to go behind the bind off of the first stitch. I've got 18 stitches along here for this particular size and gauge, and I'm going to draw up a loop onto my, this is actually not a regular crochet hook, it's a Tunisian crochet hook, and that's the difference right there. It's long and it has a knob on the end. And adding these loops first will make it easier to put this armhole on the loom. So working behind the bind off is a piece of cake. You can clearly see what it is you need to do. Now I have 18 stitches that I need to add across the bottom. One stitch where the corner turns and 18 up the side. What have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Time to do a corner stitch. Now, up the side, I'm working into rows, and the math does not work out so that you can say, well, we'll just do every other row. Therefore, we just have to try to visually space it about the same as here, so I get 18. And if I get it wrong, it's not a crisis. I can just undo them. Let's see if I can get it right first try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That looks pretty good to me. Spreading them out so you can see them. Now we'll hang them on the loom. I like to hang it so that the original right side of the fabric, the knit side, will be in the position it normally would have towards the outside of the loom. It's easier to start at the hook end so that we can remove the hook, withdraw it gradually as we don't need it anymore. Let's take a loop off and hang it. That loop is going to grow a little bit because it's right next to the working yarn tail, but we'll tighten it back up in a minute. So I'm going to go all the way around taking off loops and hanging them one at a time. That way my Tunisian crochet hook will hold all of the stitches in their open position while I'm adjusting the stitches ahead of them onto the loom. Be careful as usual to make sure that all the yarn goes behind the pin except for the loop itself, which goes onto the needle. This is really better to do with your looming hook, and I foolishly did not bring my favorite looming hook upstairs, so this one's harder for me to work with. But you can use your fingertips too. Whoops, if one pops off, just put it back. There you go. Now you can see how it works. It's tedious to watch and tedious to do, but it's easier than trying to hang this edge straight on the loom because it's not elastic enough. After this, I can knit my ribbing. Knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one across. I try to always arrange to have an odd number of stitches, in this case 37, if it works out at all possibly to do so, because that way I can have a knit stitch on each end, which I think is just a nicer way to do ribbing, and it makes it easier to seam. Then I can bind off in the normal way and we'll be all done. What you end up with is an inside edge that looks like this. This was the finished edge of the main garment. This part was where we hung rows. This part is where we hung stitches. So there's a little ridge along it. And this is the exterior. Very nice and neat.